wanted to say nobody saw this coming, but how many people did you see on social media talking about how Khabib and Tony need to be covered in bubble wrap leading up to this fight, and commenting about how we're still a week away and that Khabib still has to make weight and so on and so forth? And how many of us saw that very obvious April Fool's Day joke of a fake fight cancellation coming from a mile away? We all did. But this crazy fucking sport does it again, and this is no joke. This Saturday at UFC 223, Max Holloway steps in on just 6 days' notice, just a month removed from suffering an ankle injury that sidelined him from his own pay-per-view headliner, and he will take on Khabib for the undisputed UFC lightweight title. What do you even say to that? It really is unbelievable that for the 4th time, the matchup between Ferguson and Khabib is off. We were so close being less than a week out from the bout. I really thought it was going to happen this time, but it wasn't meant to be. Last night, reports started circulating that Ferguson suffered a freak accident when he tripped up and tweaked his knee so bad that he'd be unable to compete. It wasn't long after that Dana White released a video saying that the fight was off, that this was not an April Fool's Day joke, and that Max Holloway would be stepping in to save the main event. It was really quite shocking. It's a huge letdown that Ferguson Khabib is off, but as much excitement as there was for that fight, there's a hell of a lot more excitement now. It's situations like this that the most historic moments in this sport come from. Whether or not you think that Holloway has a chance of stopping the Eagle or not, it's the very fact that he's agreed to step up with a major disadvantage on short notice against one of the scariest fighters in one of the most talent-rich divisions in MMA that sells this fight. Holloway is a huge featherweight. I actually saw him in person a few years ago, and I was amazed to think that he could ever make 145 pounds. I expect he'd be a decent-sized lightweight, but this will be his first time competing with the extra weight. I was on the fence about Ferguson Khabib. It was just so easy to go back and forth when thinking about how that may play out, so I was reserving judgment until weigh-ins to make a final pick on that one, but the fight between Khabib and Holloway isn't one I have to think about. Holloway is coming in at way too big of a disadvantage to have a fair shake at challenging Khabib. Provided everyone makes weight and the fight goes ahead, I really don't see how you get a result other than Khabib coming away the UFC lightweight champion. But no matter what the result, Holloway is coming out of this a winner. Even though I believe it to be a slight one, there's still a very real chance Holloway comes in here and shakes up the whole game. If he pulls off the win, he will be the undisputed featherweight and lightweight champion. He will be only the second ever fighter to pull off holding 2 titles at the very same time. The first to do it was a guy you've likely heard of. His name's Conor McGregor. In fact, it's the 2 titles that McGregor had stripped from him that would be over the shoulders of the Hawaiian in this case, and thus setting up a rematch that's been 4.5 years in the making, with the stakes being way higher than anyone could have ever imagined. Of course, McGregor hasn't officially been dethroned by the promotion, but if everybody makes weight on Friday morning, you can set your watch to that happening. So here we go. No matter what the hell happens this weekend, it's gonna be bonkers. The excitement surrounding the most anticipated event of the year has just been elevated. It was interesting because Max Holloway's manager, Brian Butler, was on the MMA Hour today with Ariel Helwani, and when asked about what Holloway's immediate reaction was to the UFC offering him this fight, his manager said that Holloway said, without a flinch, "Let's fucking do it, bro. This is how legends are made."